Yes. Okay, so today we're gonna start up this beautiful 85 Silverado. Now, I haven't started it in about 6 months, so it should start up without any problem. But let's get it out of here. Okay. So yeah, this is a 85 Silverado. It's in beautiful shape. I've been using it as a work truck, but it's in such good shape that I feel kind of bad using it as a work truck. And so I guess I feel like I should sell it. But I also feel like I'll regret selling it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. It's got a CB radio. Got Little Trees air freshener. Thing is awesome. Look how good a shape it's in. Okay, let's put the Mustang where the truck was. We got matching paint jobs. Red oxide primer. This is the Jeep and the Mustang. Well, this is definitely the biggest vehicle I've ever had in here. It just barely fit in these posts. You couldn't have put a piece of paper between it and the top of the door right there. It was pretty crazy. Yeah, it's a tall truck. So yeah, here it is. What we're gonna do, we're gonna give some attention to the interior. Interior needs a good cleaning. It's got one little tear. And the headliner, of course. The headliners always fell down on these for some reason. But needs a good cleaning. Needs a few parts. Got a power window issue with this door. And I want to get rid of this window tint. Somebody put on some cheap window tint at some point. And I want to place an order to LMC truck, I guess, and get some of these parts that are missing. I'm gonna pull the seat out. I'm hoping maybe I'll find some of these parts, some of this chrome trim and stuff under the seat. We'll see. And otherwise, I mean, it's in great shape. It's an awesome truck. I kind of hate to sell it, but it's such a nice truck. I'm not using it as a work truck anymore because it's just too nice. And so I have a more of a work truck now that I use. So I feel like I should get rid of this. But I kind of hate to, because where am I going to find another one like this? I mean, the thing is gorgeous. It's a beautiful Silverado. Runs great, 3/4 ton. It's awesome. So it's got one little dent right here that I'm going to try and mess with a little bit. The bed is beautiful in it. Yeah, thing is awesome. So we'll see what we can do with the interior, dress it up, and get it ready to sell for this spring when people are getting their tax checks. Hopefully get a good amount for it. It's got a little bit of a clear coat issue on the hood. I may try and shoot the hood real quick. I'll see how much energy I have for that. But, oh, and I got a visor. One of the original Lund fiberglass visors. Somebody had one on here, and I had to get one on eBay. I'll show it to you here in a bit. It was a bit expensive. They don't make them anymore, so they're kind of hard to find, but you'll see. So we definitely got a power window problem. It's getting bound up somehow. So somehow the tracking's off. And you can see they've put on this really nasty window tint. And they did a terrible job at it too. And somebody, I figure somebody's been in here probably trying to fix this power window, and that's why these parts are missing. And it's kind of been cobbled back together a little bit, it looks like. So yeah, this is gonna need some attention. But and I'm not sure about this tear. The lady I've done upholstery work with, she's patched a couple things like this for me before, but this appears to be like stitched to the foam, so I'm not sure how she would do that. But I'm gonna pull this out and see what she thinks, and yeah, we'll take a look at this. Okay, so looks like what's gonna happen, I need this rubber piece right here, this bit of weather stripping, because it's kind of rotted and broken away, and so the window just falls out of the track as it is there. So I'm gonna, let's see if we can't. So yeah, and then it gets in a bind and you can see all the way down there. I don't want to break the glass, but I just need this piece of rubber. So I'll add that to the LMC list. And yeah, wasn't too bad. I guess I didn't really need the door panel off, but it's amazing. It really has not been messed with at all. It's in great shape. So I still need that chrome strip. Hopefully I'll find it under the seat here. I think that's what I'll do next. It'll make the headliner a bit easier to get to. So yeah, let's get this seat out of here. So I've been lucky enough, I've owned a few of these Silverados before. Look at that, look how beautiful. Oh, what do they call it? The Sierra Classic. And then, I don't know what the other one was. And then a Bonanza. And look at this thing. It's still got that cardboard. This thing is unreal. How well kept it is. I really got lucky with this truck. and I got it at a great price. And so yeah, I kind of hate to sell it. I feel like I'll regret selling it, but I don't know. I know the seat's got to come out, so I need a universal here. But I love these square bodies. They're great. They're awesome trucks. And I kind of judge people on whether or not they've had a square body before. Because, I mean, you haven't really... I don't feel you've really lived unless you've had an 80s square body. They're just too cool. And this one's just amazing. I just keep marveling at it. But I've been using it as a real work truck. Like, you know, we had almost this stupid light. We had almost a full ton of manure in here a few times for the farm. And I used it when I was building the big greenhouse. We had like scaffolding in the bed. And yeah, it's hauled plywood. It's hauled a bunch of stuff. So yeah, I've pulled out a few seats out of these. And oh, there's a quarter. I got a quarter. It's probably my quarter. And then, oh, look at that. Ha! That's that chrome trim for the door. Man, I hope I find that's, I don't know what that's to. Where would that go? Huh. I don't know where that goes. I'll find out though. That's awesome that that's back there. So, yeah, I've pulled out a few seats now. Yeah, this truck, it's beautiful. I don't know, I feel like if I sell it, I'll regret it. You know those cars that you regret selling? So I don't know. I mean, this thing, it still has the original GMC, or GM, I guess, floor mats. It's crazy. The guy who had this before me, he loved it. He was a rancher. You can tell he's got his hat rack there and the CB radio. And yeah, he loved this truck. And so yeah, this thing's awesome. So I want to give this interior a good cleanup, fix this, and get rid of that Velcro thing. I don't know what that is on there. And just give it a good cleaning. And I guess get it ready to sell. Yeah, I guess. Okay, so we just got a bunch of nastiness in here, it looks like. Just a few years of junk. I want to shampoo the carpet. I got some carpet shampooing tricks that I'll do. Man, I can't believe. Oh my God, this is so. What in the world? Why? Oh my God, that is on there so hard. How? I don't even know what to do. Why would someone do this? Good Lord. Well, it's off. I don't think he even smoked. Looks pretty clean in there. Thing is beautiful. Yeah, so I bought it and just immediately started using it for hauling some stuff, and I put a brake booster on it, fixed a couple leaks, a couple little things like that, but really just kind of started using it. But I was always careful with it because I mean, I knew it was in awesome shape, and it was the kind of thing where just the more I messed with it, drove it, the more I was like, God, this thing is awesome. It's just in such great shape. So There's not a spot of rust on it either. And there's a couple scratches here and there that, but I mean, no rust. I mean, it's a true New Mexico truck. You know, and this is a little scratch there. He was an older fella, and so I think he, you know, bumped into a couple things here and there. But I mean, this thing was really used. Here's the money shot. So now, I know this doesn't look like much, but these are actually kind of rare. So this is a Lund Visor, and these are fiberglass, and they were pretty popular, you know, back in the 80s and 90s, I guess, with the square bodies. But they're fiberglass, so they would crack and break, and people would have to get rid of them. And then they went out of business like in the 90s, the late 90s. So you can't get them anymore. Unfortunately, somebody who had this truck had one of the visors, and you have to screw holes in it in your cab in order to mount it. So someone had one of those visors on here. It must have broke or cracked or whatever. They got rid of it and just left the caps on. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna clean this up, sand it, paint it, make sure all the lights work, and yeah, Lund, made in the USA. And put it on here, and it should be pretty cool. I like the looks of these visors. I think they're super awesome on these square bodies. And so yeah, we'll see how it goes. So here's something interesting. I was kind of Googling around, and I learned that there's a aftermarket wiring kit that they sell to where you can wire your power windows directly to the battery, because apparently this does not get enough voltage and amperage to run the motor properly. And so with the alternate kit, it wires directly to the battery and you get a little bit more power and it works better. So I'm going to check into that. I may, since I'm here, I may switch it. We'll see. I'll see how much it is. But it's something to be aware of for the rest of you who are dealing with power windows not working on your 80s Silverado square bodies. So after a little YouTube searching, it says that these just pull out. Oh, yeah, I guess it does. Yeah, so that's where the window is getting all bound up. Huh, okay. Well, we'll see how much this thing costs. And looks like I'll be looking at the LMC website tonight and figuring stuff out. Got the dashboard all cleaned up. And I think that's a good place to end for today. Okay, big day. We're gonna tackle this headliner and hopefully get this window tint off and vacuum. So check this out. This is a truck catalog from 2005. So look how cool that truck is on the cover. Okay. So this is the headliner, and it's kind of a fiberglass. It's super fragile. It's pretty delicate. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to do some spray glue, and we'll glue it down, and it should be pretty easy. Okay, so it took me a little while to figure out the technique, but this is a heat gun, and basically you just have to give it some heat and let it get pretty warm, and then it seems to come out or come up off in one piece, and you just gotta pull slow and easy. And so it's just kind of been inching along. Oh, scared me. Okay, so now I'm gonna consult with the internet and find out what's the best chemical to remove this glue that's left behind. I'll show you the other side. Oh, I still got this little window. Crap. Then here's all the pieces from the passenger side. And there's something about that cheap do-it-yourself window tint. When it gets old, it turns purple for some reason. And yeah, it just looks like crap. So I'm glad to have it off. I'll get that glue off of here some other day. The inside's looking great. I'm going to take the back off of this seat. It's just a few screws and a bolt there. And that way I can just give Linda, the upholstery lady, the back and let her see what she can do with it. I'm also going to check out, there should be a cargo light up here. And it appears to just be a piece of tape over it. So I'm going to check and see what's going on. So there appears to be like some white tape, very heavy duty tape that someone's put on it. So they must have taken off the cargo light and put the tape on. So I'm just gonna do the heat gun again. Okay, so I got the tape off, the tape. I don't know where this guy bought his tape at, but it was insane. It's like glue or something. And I fished out the wires. Someone's cut it and taped it off, so I'm going to need everything, the lens, the bracket. I'll see if LMC has it. And yeah, hopefully can put a nice little cargo light on here like there should be. Okay, so I got the back off of the bench seat, and we'll take it in and we'll see what Linda can do with that little tear. So according to the internet, any kind of high-grade solvent will take care of this glue, and I have some pretty fancy paint thinner here called Mona Lisa. Oh, it's super pretty. I don't think Mona Lisa is doing much. This is more work than I wanted to do on this. I mean, it's coming off, but it's pretty slow. Well, the internet also recommended acetone and Goo Gone. So we'll try that next. Okay, so I got the visor out here, getting ready to start working on it, stripping it down. The truck is at peak ugly right now. I'm ready to clean windows. And I'm also going to take out this trailer brake. It's a weird old trailer brake, and I'm not sure what people were trying to do with it. If they were trying to disconnect it or make it... It's got a brake line going into it, which I'm not familiar with those. I'm just used to the electric magnet ones. So I'm gonna take it out because there's no connections at the rear, so I don't know what they were trying to do. And yeah, it's coming out. It also looks like whoever was doing the wiring only had red wire. So everything they did is with red. And so, yeah, I think this definitely needs to come out. Well, he might have been a good rancher, but he was definitely not an electrician. This is the wiring that was going to the tail lights, or to the trailer and tail lights, I guess. And this was all melted from the exhaust. It was really close to the exhaust. And then this is the power for the CB, and it was just, you can see the bare wire here. He had just crammed it up into the fuse box, one of the fuses, and it was supposed to be a 10 amp fuse, and he had crammed it in there and put in a 30 amp fuse. So I don't know, that's a little scary. This is the brake, the trailer brake. So yeah, I'm gonna clean up some of that. I did patch some of the plastic had cracked, and I did a little plastic glue and patchwork here and touching those up a bit. So while I was doing electrical stuff, I took the strip of lights out from the visor. We'll see if these work. I'll be shocked if... Hey! Look at that. They all seem to work. Huh. Oh, that's cool. Nice. I'll still clean it up some. It's got a lot of patch pieces put in, so cool. So I think I left all my 1980s fuses up in the Fox body. So let's go up to the Fox body and get some fuses. Maybe I didn't. Okay, I got the windows clean. The acetone is definitely the way to do it. All the gunk is off from the window tint. And yeah, some progress. It is late. It is time to go in. Tomorrow I'll work on the visor, start sanding, and hopefully paint it tomorrow. I got something kind of cool I'm going to try. And yeah, it should be pretty awesome. I'm going to work on cleaning up this visor. Okay, the wind picked up, so I had to move into one of the greenhouses. And so yeah, I primered it real quick. Red oxide primer, my favorite. And the underside got painted satin black, so I'm going to mask that off real quick, and then we'll shoot the white. Okay, so here's what I'm excited about. The turbo paint. Supposedly this has a 10-inch spray, and yeah, I figure this is a good time to try it. I've seen a friend of mine recommended this actually, and then I saw some YouTube videos and looked kind of interesting, and I thought, well, I just need gloss white, which is pretty simple, so let's try it. Oh, wow. Whoa. Wow, I was not expecting that. Okay, so this is kind of wild. I think I like it. Okay, I'm gonna let this dry up a little bit and do a second coat, but I like it. I got some dirt in it. It's so windy. Yeah, some dirt, but that's all right. We'll call it patina. Okay, so this is the second coat and it looks good. I'm gonna give the turbo spray a thumbs up. I wouldn't want to paint anything smaller than this because I mean it comes out pretty fast. I got 2 cans. I thought I would use 2 cans, and this barely used half of this one. So, you know, you can see some dirt in it, and that's fine. You know, I didn't use any filler on this. I just sanded what was there, and good enough. I mean, this is a work truck. It's a Silverado. It's a ranch truck. So, you know, a few little bumps and scratches on it be just fine. So yeah, cool. Okay, so this is a good place to wrap things up. I gotta go to a birthday party, and so yeah, hopefully we can start putting things back together. The box of LMC stuff came in. The visor is painted and in the garage. And I'm going to work on getting the lights back in them, the lenses. In order to do that, I've got them over here in the water warming up. They're kind of oxidized, so they're kind of flat looking. Also going to do a couple quick things, little things. Radiator hose needs a new one. When it gets hot, this one balloons up. It's definitely at its end. I also want to take care of this ingenious battery strap someone put on here. I like having nice battery straps. Okay, so what we're going to do here, I've got these I guess lenses, the light caps for the visor, and they're very fragile. You know, they're probably 30 years old. Pretty thin plastic, but they're pretty oxidized. So what you want to do is, this is 600 grit, and I'm going to give them a light sanding, and it's wet. I got some warm water here, and so it's a light little wet sanding, and just real quick knock off the worst of it. And you can see that little bit of oxidation running off of it there. And that's about all it's going to take. I'm going to rinse it off. This is it's a powder that you add a little bit of water to, and it makes kind of a pasty sort of thing. And it's glass polish. And I keep it around. I use it to get scratches out of windshields and windows, and just to overall shine up a window, make it a little bit nicer. And I'm going to kind of, as gently as possible, give it a little buffing. And then rinse it in the water a little bit. And it's quite a bit cleaner. I still got junk on the back here, but already I can tell it feels glass-like, you know. So yeah, I'll let it dry. We'll see how it looks. Okay, so we got this one dry. You can see it's got a little bit of shine to it now and cleaned up. This is one that hasn't been done yet, and you can see it's kind of flat and still, it's got a really bad spot there. But it improves them a little bit. It doesn't take long, so it's worth it. I'm gonna do the other 4 and wrap them up. Okay, so I got the new radiator hose on, got the battery cleaned up, got a nice little strap on there so it's nice and secure. As soon as the weather gets somewhat decent, I want to degrease and power wash this engine compartment. I know I've got a power steering leak, a couple of them, and it's kind of sprayed the engine with power steering fluid, which is kind of a bummer, but it's just kind of nasty, filthy, dirty under here. Starting to put the lenses back in. I had to make some gaskets. I had some vinyl fabric that I was able to cut and make gaskets to fit around the lights. Okay, so I got all the lenses in, the lights are in, the wire is patched up and fixed, and I need to pick up some rubber washers to get it up on the roof there. And yeah, but it looks awesome. And what's next? Next is the cargo light, which it came in, but it came in with the lens and the mount and all the gaskets and everything, but it did not come with a bulb socket. So I had to rob a socket out of, I had a license plate lamp thing. So I robbed the socket out of it and kind of soldered it into the cargo lamp mount. And so now we'll try and get it up there on the roof. I had to get a shot of it in the dark. This thing's gonna be awesome on here. Very cool. I also did some work. The cargo light is not mounted, but it's got power. I had to extend some wires and they'd kind of hacked it back. I think they were doing something because the CB antenna's up there. So I think they were trying to, I don't know what they were doing, but it's working now. Okay, I got the visor up there. I'm not sure what's going on. They're kind of like half bright. So I gotta check the switch and see what's going on. Not sure. I hooked them up to these little driving lights here. Yeah, I'm not sure what's going on there. So I'll tweak it a little bit here. But it's up there, looks pretty cool. I got a few of the mounts I gotta fine tune a bit, but it is up and on. And we have a cargo light. The devil is in the details for sure. There's a CB antenna here, which I wanted to keep because I feel this truck needs the CB stuff. And so there's some mounting brackets under there. And I think that's why they removed this light to begin with, was because there was so much under here and it was in the way. Now, there is a cargo light, but this headache rack is kind of in the way of it, but it's here, it works. I feel it needed it, and there it is. Okay, so the power window was not working. It had a weather stripping issue that it had gotten derailed. I got some new weather stripping in there, and the window now goes up and down pretty nicely. It seems to creak and crack a bit more. I oiled everything internally in the door, and now the little electric motor is making that weird buzzing sound when it goes up, but it goes up nice and it goes down well. So I'm not sure what changed and why the electric motor is making that noise, but it's better. It goes up and down now, whereas before it did not. And yeah, I did manage to figure out why the lights were so dim and why they weren't working properly. Got that taken care of. I was very tired and my electrical wiring was, I made some weird mistakes. Yeah, so I don't know why it's now making that noise. Yeah, it wasn't making that noise before when it was binding up, and now it is. I greased all the tracks, I oiled all the pivot points, and now it's making more noise than it ever has. So, okay, it's late. I couldn't stop with this power window. If anyone out there knows what that noise means, let me know, and why would it start doing it suddenly? So generally speaking, the wheels are in pretty good shape. They got a little bit of surface rust starting to happen, and they got a few dents and dings in the beauty rings there, but generally they're in good shape. I just want to give them a good polishing, touch up the white back there, and make them look shiny and new. Okay, I got all the beauty rings and hubcaps buffed and polished, and I managed to get out most of the dents. Some of the scruffs and dents I couldn't get to. So these are most likely the original beauty rings. I don't know if you can see there. So that rivet, they're riveted on. So in order to get to them, I'd have to take that off, but I don't want to. Pretty amazing. They're 40 years old now, and so they're in pretty good shape. The hubcaps, I was able to get all the little dents and dings out of them and polish them, and they look good. So I'll get them on, and we'll see what they look like. So we got a before and after. Yeah, they look good. Looks nice and clean and fresh. And yeah, super happy with them. It's amazing they've stayed with the truck all these years, but looks beautiful. Okay, the next step is the door panels are going to get a good cleaning and put back on. And I'm going to shampoo some carpets. I'm still waiting on the upholstery from Linda, but that's all right. I need to give everything a good cleaning in here. Get in with some little Q-tips. I also picked up a fire extinguisher. I'll be mounting it soon. I guess I'll wait till I get the seat so I can make sure it clears. And, oh yeah, I got the headliner. That's still at Linda's, but I'll get that up in there. I need to decide if I'm going to keep that air freshener or not. Get this out of here, get another car in here. I got some cool stuff for the 69 Mustang, and I want to start bringing in Model A stuff. So yeah, that's where we're at. So it's a pretty nice day out. I gotta go pick up some stuff for the Silverado. Let's take the Foxbot. I haven't had this running in a few months, so I'm gonna let it get up to a good temperature here. Okay, I got what I needed. Let's go for a little drive. and I feel like I should be delivering pizzas. I don't know if it takes me back to pizza delivery days. Okay, so I did manage to get the carpet shampooed today and started cleaning up the dash a bit. Got the dash cover off and cleaned it. And yeah, other than this corner right here's got a bit of a stain, but other than that, the carpet looks pretty good. I got the other door cleaned up as well. And so yeah, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with these floor mats. I think it's super cool that it has the original GM floor mats, but they're stained pretty badly. So I don't know. I'm going to try and clean them, try to de-stain them, but I'm not even sure how to. But I'm going to do some experimenting and see what happens. So I just spent a good part of the morning scrubbing floor mats, and I think they look pretty good. I was a little surprised how well they cleaned up. I used simple green on them and some Meguiar's Supreme Shine Meguiar's. It worked pretty well. Next, I'm going to tackle the last door panel. I'll get it cleaned up, but I also spent a little bit of time on the carpet stain, which seems to have come out pretty well. I used some, what is it? Resolve carpet cleaner. And I also finished detailing the dash a bit, got in there with some little cleaning tools, cleaned all the gauges, cleaned up the radio, the CB, and yeah, it's looking good. I'm going to put the door panel on and finish up a couple little things. So after a lot of scrubbing, I got the door panel looking good. It's all shampooed and oiled up. But just to show you the grime, I don't know if you can see on here, but I just gave this a coat of the soapy water, and you can just see all the years of grime that's coming off. And so yeah, let me try and get in the light here. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. So I'll finish cleaning this and then, whoops, put it all together. All right, door panels on and back together. Got power windows, power locks. The dash, I'm calling it clean and done. Carpets are nice and clean. Door steps are great. And yeah, interior is pretty much done. Waiting on the seat from Linda and the headliner, of course. And I'll clean the windshield too, a little bit of Windex. But yeah, it's pretty much there. It looks beautiful. This really has a pretty interior, these Silverados. I gave the floor mats one more cleaning, and now they're all dry and everything, and they look pretty good, I think. There's one stain right there, and that's about it, but I think they look pretty good. Done. Okay, another day with the truck here. Unfortunately, there's been a delay with the seat and the interior stuff from Linda. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and start addressing some of these little scratches and little paint chips everywhere. I've got some paint that is supposed to be a pretty good match. The worst spot on the whole truck is this dent that somebody has tried to touch up these scrapes with a blue that does not match at all. Hopefully mine matches better. So I got a couple tricks. One, to reach this. Unfortunately, This is a double wall, so you can't really just pound it out. I can't get into it, but I got a couple tricks for maybe pulling that out. We'll see. And yeah, just general wax and buff. Okay, so I think today might be the finish line on this guy. So I got the seat backing in from Linda. The headliner, the fabric got back ordered on the headliner, but the new piece matches pretty good. It's a little bit darker. I'm hoping once I actually clean this, it'll get a little darker. We'll see, but it's not bad. You know, this fabric has 30, 40 years of fading and wear. So for it to match perfect would have been, I think, impossible. But we did both ends, and it matches pretty good, so it'll work. These need to be cleaned for sure, and get it back together and get it in. Also, I've done the touch-up and a wax and buff on the truck. So here's one spot. We'll do a little before and after. And there was another bad spot. I waxed and buffed the whole thing. It looks pretty good. It's got some fuzz and lint on it now that I'll clean off, but it looks nice and shiny. And there was one bad spot down here. I'll do another before and after. And there was a spot here before and after. And it looks pretty good from a distance. I was able to get some of the dent out of it, not all, of course. But, you know, it's a work truck. It's a driver. And it looks pretty awesome. Looks beautiful. So check it out. You can see all the brown nastiness coming up out of this after I sprayed the soap on it. Yeah, it's going to change it quite a bit. And here's the bottom cushion. It's all clean. Looks beautiful. It's in almost perfect condition. And so now I'll set up and do the back one, and I'll show you all the stages real quick.
Because up in the holler, it don't matter if you're drunk or sane. Anybody will say anything under the influence of madness.
Okay, got it all clean, looking good. This is just the vacuum marks in it. It's still pretty wet. Okay, so sometimes you feel like you don't make much progress, but as you can see, that water's pretty nasty. So we got some dirt out of there, and yeah, she looks good. Okay, so after a little bit of struggling, I got the seat in, and it looks beautiful. Also got the fire extinguisher in and mounted. Got the floor mats in, and it looks great. It looks like a new truck. Quite gorgeous. The only thing left is the headliner, which she said the fabric should be in this week, which is fine. I'll do that later. So I'm looking at this thing. I really can't decide if I should sell it or keep it. Maybe leave some comments. Also, tell me what kind of price range you think this thing is, because I'm getting a lot of different opinions on it. And so, yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to pull it out into the sun real quick before it gets dark out, and let's take a look at it in the light. Okay, got it out in the sun here real quick before it gets dark, and she looks beautiful.
Got the fever loading 16 tons. Some people say a man is made out of mud, a poor man's made out of muscle and blood. Muscle and blood, flesh and bone. Mind that's weak and a back that's strong, Lord. 16 tons, what do you got? A little bit older, people and devil. St. Peter, don't you call me. I can't go so to the company store. For one morning, the sun didn't shine. I picked up my shovel and I walked to the mine. I loaded 16 tons, number 9 gold, stop a silver. That's my soul, 16 tons. What do you get? Another day older, deeper in there. Peter, don't you call me? I can't go. Oh, my soul, company store.
So that does it for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I really like this truck. I can't decide if I should keep it or sell it, but I guess next week we'll know. So yeah, subscribe, all that good stuff, and see what happens next week.
All that morning it was drizzling rain, fighting down trouble as my middle name. I was raised in a Cambridge by all my line. I told woman all this 16 tons. What do you get here? Nothing dead. Different dead. I'm here on the corner. I can't go. My company store.